Welcome back to the Real Power Family Radio Show. Today, our guest is Ryan Cura. And Ryan, I just want to say that I think it's amazing what you're doing with your IRA because you're using it to lend out and you're building up money because you can't spend the IRA money right now anyway. You're young, but you're building that up. You will have your retirement account set for you for when you do want to retire. And that is spectacular. So, Eric, you also wanted to talk about the bad parts of private lending. Where do you want to start?
You've got to be very careful. For one, don't just run out and talk to everybody and say, hey, I can guarantee you money. You can never guarantee anything. There are always risks. And I also do lending out of my IRA, and I am not lending to any listener. That's not what I'm looking for. Generally, people that buy properties from me, I will help finance them. I might give them a little bit more money to do the fix-up if they're buying a house that needs a lot of rehab. You have to decide, will I only take a first mortgage, or do I not care if it's a first or a second? You have to decide, is it only the property I care about? And there's a lot of people out there, they'll pay higher interest rates and maybe even points because they have no credit, no experience, no nothing. And the people that loan to them, which I do not, I would rather get a somewhat lower interest rate and have zero hassle with a person with a good track record and a great credit score. I would rather do something like that because it's my IRA money and I understand there's risk anywhere I put it. And I also have risk just letting it sit there. I am absolutely guaranteed to lose 2 to 10% based on the last few years of inflation if it is just sitting there not earning me anything. So like Ryan said, the velocity, you got to keep turning that money over. And the sooner you can get it loaned out and keep it being paid back with interest to a good qualified borrower. And you have to set up your own standards for what qualified means to you. But I absolutely think you should do a little bit of checking, get to know, like, and trust the person, and probably look at some of their financials, which almost none of my private lenders do. I keep saying, here's my personal financial statement. Like, oh, that's okay. So what do you think? Do you focus more on the person or more on the house? And what do you think are good qualifications to look for if you were going to loan money to somebody, Ryan?
Well, I think you got to trust the person, number one. And you really want to look at maybe not the house, but what their past history is, right? Have they defaulted before? Things like that. I know in the past, my father had done a lot of business with Eric, and Eric never had, there was no payment issues or anything like that. So, I knew off the bat he was a, good person to lend to. So, I mean, that's number one. I think that's really what it is. You have to understand their character. You have to look at, what they're trying to do. You got to listen to their business plan. There's a lot of factors that go into it, right? It's not one answer fits all, but you really got to trust the person and what they want to do with the money and how their track record has been. I think that's the most
I think
important.
that's really important. It's all about the track record.